Killer, that man, because 2 more for him. He's now 4th in the all-time scoring list. High time, we heard, from the Premier League's leading goal scorer.
Well, Mo, that feels like a result and a performance that will really make the rest of the league sit up and take notice just how good were Liverpool today.
Well, we were quite good in front, but defensively, I think we need to improve as a team, not just individual. But consider 3 goals is quite hard, and I think Virgil and Ali will speak better than me in that. But yeah, it's quite a good result, and hopefully we just keep going.
Did you always know coming here with the types of games they've had, particularly recently, that it might be that sort of crazy type of match?
Yeah, I think we expected the way they played, just like they opened the game and they enjoy the football. As you can see, the game is really tough physically and also mentally. You have to be always in the game. So yeah, I'm glad that we managed to win the game.
Why is it that type of game with them? Is it a lot to do with how they press and try to be aggressive, but it also gives you space the other end?
They have the way they play that they don't change it much, and it's quite intensity, and you can see City come here struggle, some other team come here struggling, but I'm glad that we managed to win the game, because they really play a very intense game.
Well, they do, but as you said, Liverpool knew that, they liked that, and they were prepared to go more than toe-to-toe with them today.
Well, exactly that. You get a sense, I mean, Tottenham have, certainly in my time, were like that as well. They used to be quite an aggressive team. They didn't mind mixing it with you. They always backed themselves. I think, Peter, you had some great games with Tottenham as well for Manchester United. In recent times, with the likes of Conte and Mourinho, they've gone back to more of a cautious mode, and not really a mode that Tottenham fans have enjoyed too much. And now they've gone full circle. And now whoever they play, it's like a shootout. You know, there's never a dull game with Tottenham. And it suited Liverpool. They've simply got a better team, a well-oiled team that all know what they're doing. So, you know, having a shoot-off and Liverpool looking at that and thinking, do we need to tactically change? You'd say no. Let's play them at their own game. We're too good for them, and that's what they did. And basically the shootout went the way we thought. Lots and lots of goals, but most of them for Liverpool. And it was, I thought it was half flattered Tottenham in the end. 6-3 sounds as if it was quite close, but Liverpool battered them. Really, it was one-sided right from the start, and I never ever thought that Liverpool were going to get beat or be under any pressure today.
OK, well, 9 goals, 6 of them to Liverpool. Let's talk to one of the goal scorers for Liverpool. Dominic Szoboszlai joins us live from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Thanks for joining us, Dominic. I mean, goodness me, that was an incredible game to watch. What on earth was it like to play in?
I think it was even better to play than to watch. As I said before, it was really a good game for the fans who came to the stadium, saw 9 goals. But I think it was more happy for us because we took the 3 points.
And Mo Salah was talking that there's no surprise to anybody how Tottenham play. So when you come to a ground like this today, unlike perhaps other fixtures, there's no surprise the way your opponents are going to come up against the game. And it looked as though that played into your hands at times.
Yeah, it was our plan. We knew it, that they're going to defend high, and that's why we took, actually, without a number 9, Lucho was a number 10 next to me, and he was dropping more to get the balls, and if no one follows him, then he can turn. But if someone follows him, then it's a big space behind, so I can get into the space and yeah, make a lot of difference.
Dominic, it's Michael Owen. Well played today. Just wanted to talk through your goal. What was going through your mind? Did you consider taking it first time? And then once you'd taken a touch, what were you thinking in terms of the finish? Was it just to hit the target, or did you see a little space between the goalkeeper's legs?
No, to be honest, I didn't see no space there. I just hope that Mo sees me. I took the touch inside and yeah, hope for the best.
Yeah, and then you were later involved in another goal. Again, Mo Salah, you were returning the favour, let's say. You could have shot in this situation. I'm sure Mo Salah would have shot if he was you, but this was brilliant awareness to play the ball to Mo.
Yeah, that's the difference between us.
Yeah, I know how he feels. I don't know how you feel. I was selfish too.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for him as well. He gave me in the first half. I told him I'm going to give him back, so.
Brilliant.
And for Arne Slot, I mean, he's only lost 1 game. You're top of the league at Christmas, 4 clear with a game in hand. I mean, in all honesty, you couldn't have dreamt of this situation.
I think everybody's dreaming of these situations, but we see many times that teams were in front of other teams, and it's still 6 months to go. So we are looking for the table a little bit, but also we are just taking care of ourselves, getting our points. Still one more game to go in front of the other teams. So yeah, we want to be as much in front as we could.
I know it's the same set of players, Dominic, but with the new manager tweaking things here and there, is it a surprise how quickly you've all taken it on board and the fantastic results in every competition that you've had?
Probably, actually, no one expected us to start so well, but he is believing in the team, we are believing in him, and I think we need the whole squad, and that we showed it many times. Doesn't matter who plays, we give our best on the pitch, Champions League, Cups, and in the Premier League as well. That's why we are at the top of the table and top of the Champions League.
Well, very well played today. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And he's one of the Liverpool goal scorers for you, live from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's the point, Peter, as well. When they play like they did today, they've got goals all over the pitch, haven't they?
I think Liverpool, in the last couple of years, they've had goals from everywhere, really, and that's been the strength of the team. It would be interesting to hear exactly what it is, the difference from last year to this year is, because they kind of look more solid.
Well, Michael used the word control, didn't he, before the game?
Yeah. They're still scoring the goals. They're still coming up with the chances like they did last season, but they kind of look a lot more solid. And we are at Christmas now. They're top of the league. They're in the semi-final of the League Cup. They're top of the league of the Champions League. I mean, that's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And now you're looking at it, you're thinking, yeah, this might just be that year, where they can go and win all the big things. But when you look at the playing material, you think, well, it's not really like what Man City had in the last and still have, of course. They don't have like two teams, but still it's working out for them, and it's absolutely impressive. What they did today was fantastic. What they came out and they knew how Tottenham were going to play, and they absolutely exposed them at their home turf. They humiliated them, and rightly so. You said before, it could have been a lot more, and it should have been a lot more. But I'm now beginning to think that Liverpool can actually go all the way,
Said it through gritted teeth there, Peter.
No, I would love Man United to win the league. We're nowhere near that. But I really like.
And you'd wake up from
football,
that dream at the moment, Peter.
I like good football when there's an element of risk, but also, to use your word, control. So when you combine the two of them with good players, you end up with having good football and entertaining football. You don't have to go. I mean, today I think Tottenham, the way they approached the game was just a little bit silly. They're just giving a lot of space away that they didn't have to give away. That kind of football might be enjoyable. It's not enjoyable for Tottenham fans today, but Liverpool's way of playing is quite entertaining. And you combine those two things, you never know what it can. And it was not gritted teeth. It was like with a big smile.
Well done.
But from Spurs' point of view, 9 minutes into the second half, at 3-1, they concede the first goal of the second half, and then they were chasing. And when you've got Mo Salah, you've got a chance of winning the league, haven't you, Jermaine?
Yeah, and obviously, the next goal was always going to be important. But again, transition. Tottenham are just sort of like all over the place. And yeah, Liverpool, it's just the timing of the movement, making the right decisions at the right moments, just really clinical. And a lot of the goals, they look quite easy, but then it's the weight of the pass, then it's the connection. Here, you see the weight of the pass here. It's the right timing, just keeps himself one side. And there are a lot of players who make the wrong decision. But, he goes across goal, gets fortunate, gets lucky, but it's because they make the right decisions all the time. And that's why they score so many goals.
And they have the numbers as well.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. You have certain element of control, but you're also taking risks. You're committing 5 players to go forward.
And then this was the one we saw.
Yeah, I like this goal. Any young centre forward wanting to score goals, just have a look at it's a tiny thing, but Mo Salah here, he's left-footed. He could have swept it in with his left foot, but thought I'd make a point of it. Here, he's got to really find that corner. If he goes left foot, you watch how close the goalkeeper gets when he hits his right foot. He buys himself about an extra metre in the goal there by letting it come across, because he opens the angle more. If he hits it early, he keeps the angle closed and the goalkeeper gets it. And he's got to really be precise. Lets it come across his body, that then opens the goal a lot more. So just a tiny little thing. But as Jermaine just said there, goal scoring is about tiny matters. And if you equate it to numbers, then you're giving yourself a far better chance of scoring a goal by making the right decisions. And you have a look at this graphic now that he's just entered the big league with some of the greats of all time, obviously, with Liverpool, and he's not slowing down, is he?
Well, he's gone to all-time fourth today, as you can see, in the list, on to 229. But that last column is interesting, Michael. He is the fastest to any total. His minutes per goal is better than everybody else on that list.
Yeah, and that's the hard bit to equate, though, isn't it? Because all of those players are from a totally different generation. So it's very difficult to say when it was harder or easier to score goals. Even my generation to this generation now, it's quite difficult to say, right, well, who's the best and who's this from 10, 20 years ago. So it's quite difficult to do that, but numbers don't lie. I mean, it's quite easy to say that he's one of the all-time greats already for Liverpool. And as I say, he's not slowing down, he's not stopping. If he signs a new contract, then he'll be in the top three in no time, and then maybe one day even threatening the Ian Rush record. I never thought I'd say that.
No. Just to put it into context for my good friend, he's ninth. Only 8 people in the history of Liverpool Football Club have scored more goals.
Why didn't you put me on the list then?
Because the producer said top 5. Nothing to do with me. I asked for top 9, but it wasn't there. Okay. Anyway, 158 goals later for Liverpool. Right, here is the Liverpool manager who seemingly can do no wrong. Just one defeat since walking through the door at Anfield. Arne.
Well, Arne, you said before the match, might be a crazy one. It was. Did you like almost everything you saw?
Yeah, almost, indeed. First 50, 55 minutes is, I think, what you want, except for the goal we conceded, because, if you have so much dominance and you might have gone in at halftime with a 2-1 lead, that would probably not have done justice to the quality we brought today. Then 3-1 up, and it ended up being 5-1. Yeah, and then I think we all saw that we thought it was enough, and therefore Tottenham has far too much quality. If you're not every second of the game on top of them, they are able to create and score.
I know in your preparations, because you said beforehand, you've watched a lot of their games against the best sides and the biggest clubs, so you'll know no one else has done that to them. How did you do it?
Yeah, I think I said similar things before the game, that in the games they've lost here against the bigger teams, that they were always very close to a result and maybe deserved something more than they got. I think today it was clear that we deserved to win. So that was a very good performance for a large part of the game, except for the 15 to 20 minutes where we thought we didn't have to run anymore, and then in that period of time we conceded 2.
Yeah, has that really annoyed you? Has it taken the gloss off, that last bit?
A bit. It's also a good warning for us to understand that if we're on top of our game, it's very, very difficult for every team to play against us. But that is our strength. It's not only the quality, and that maybe is useful this 15 minutes, because the same players with the same quality, they don't run the same anymore, and then we can concede 2. But you can say this so many times. Unfortunately, it didn't hurt us today, but in other moments it could.
So, I mean, you're a big fan of Ange Postecoglou and what they do, but in terms of your plan beforehand and how it was then executed, where were the opportunities for you today? Where was the space?
I think against every team there is an opportunity, because if they press 9 and 10, you have 3v2 in midfield. If they go 7, 9, 11, you have to bring maybe a defender in the midfield to have an overload. If they go man for man, which they did with the third goal, then maybe if you win a duel, there's only one player necessary to outplay someone, and you have an extra man. So it doesn't matter which team you face, there's always an opportunity, but there's always a threat as well. And I think that's also what you saw today, because they have a lot of quality players. They have a very good idea about football. If you give them a bit of space, they can hurt you so much. And I'm not a fan in that sense of the word of Ange, but I like his playing style. I like what he does, and I'm not one of the guys or one of the people that think he deserves criticism for what he does, because he's at a club where normally every club has a chance to win something, but they don't win that much in the last 15 to 20 years here.
You don't want to concede 6 goals at home. The fans, obviously the manager came out the other day and said, are you not entertained? Of course we're entertained when the team's scoring goals, but at the same time, just what you can't defend like that, especially at home. It's just too easy to play against. I think that Liverpool could have been more. I think that's the thing. They scored 6 goals, could have been more. It'd be interesting to hear what the manager says after.
It's on him, isn't it? To be fair, it's on him. He's playing to his principles, which today was crazy, just crazy. The way the high line, the space they left behind. They're not playing with a goalkeeper who's comfortable, that cleaning up behind like Alisson is doing, or like Vicario's been doing. You can't play a system that the players can't play because you have it as a principle. And for that, they conceded 3 on Thursday. They conceded 6 today. It's just crazy. And when we look at the table, they're not on the front page, the first page. They're on the second page. They're there with Manchester United, which we've earlier on today have covered really well. They are in deep crisis. Tottenham are not supposed to be on the second page. They're supposed to be up there trying to win trophies, and they're not. And it's because of the way they play. The players simply can't do that. You look at players like Son. I mean, he's playing in a position he was very, very good at 2 years ago, but he's lost a little bit of pace. Still a fantastic, clever player, but he should be playing in a different position where he can use his cleverness, not where he's supposed to use pace that he hasn't got. And it's just, today was just weird that the stubbornness of wanting to play in that way, and they got exactly what they deserved. And it could have been a lot more and a lot worse.
OK, plenty of time to analyse that. Stay with us, all the reaction on.
And I do think there will be a frustration in that dressing room when they get in that this score isn't 6 or 7-1 and it's 6-3. And that might actually be a good thing. It's like, we've had a great result, we're top of the table, but we can't let that happen again, because at one stage we're all sitting here thinking, if Tottenham score here from a corner or something, it goes 5-4. But I thought Liverpool were outstanding. And I think if you're watching your Chelsea or your Arsenal, you look at that, you think, these are going to take some stopping.
Were you entertained, Les?
As a Tottenham fan, no, I wasn't, to be honest. And listen, I know Tottenham, when you look at this Tottenham side, the 2 main centre-halves and the goalkeeper are missing. But I don't want to take anything away from Liverpool and how well they played. They were absolutely fantastic. And as you said, I'm sitting here watching them live, and I'm thinking, wow, these look like the heir to the throne against some pretenders.
Spurs pretenders. They're going to leave everyone trailing in their wake if the rest aren't careful, because Liverpool march on to the top. Salah's agenda to talk about today. This certainly is. He's gone above Billy Little. That is an extraordinary achievement, Jamie.
Unbelievable. It really is. He's just an absolute phenomenon. I mean, I think I said a few weeks ago, didn't I? He's probably the top 5 players, I would say, to ever play for Liverpool Football Club. And let's not forget, Liverpool are the most successful team in this country. We've had some legendary players, and he's right up there with the best of them.
And you also had him, I think, as one of your best attacking players in Premier League history. We did that last Monday, do you remember?
Week, yeah. It might get
what did you have him as, number 3?
All the Salah fans back on my side now, maybe, but we'll see. But no, listen, him, the goalkeeper, and I think Virgil van Dijk, not just this season, since they've come in, they've completely transformed what Liverpool are. And every season you go into it now thinking Liverpool can compete in terms of challenging for the Premier League and challenging for the Champions League.
Jamie, what do you think we learnt about Liverpool today?
The difficulty when you try to analyse a game when you watch Tottenham is you're playing against the back four. When you look at Tottenham's back four with Dragus and Archie Gray, I felt really sorry for Archie Gray. He's 18. He's played right back for Leeds at times, but predominantly a central midfield player. He gets exposed to playing against one of the best front threes in European football. Dragusan, who's you think is more of a centre back. You got left back it hasn't played a lot of football, so it wasn't their best back four. But what Liverpool did is they just exploited it, exposed every single weakness that they had. It was absolutely incredible. It was relentless at times. The amount of chances, the big chances they had to score, they could have scored 10 goals with ease today, and they just made Spurs look so inadequate. And I think we're talking about a stat that Spurs haven't lost by more than 1 goal in the Premier League this season.
Yeah.
Until today, I had no idea. That's an incredible stat. But still, to put the level in and the intensity and the opportunities that Liverpool threw up was just amazing. And the intensity, Jamie said it, they're a scary proposition right now, and if they can keep this going at this level, they're going to be incredibly hard to stop.
Did you feel a bit sorry for Spurs? Certainly their defenders.
Yeah, I certainly did. And you know what? Spurs, at the start of the season, we were talking about them being a top 4 side. And, OK, they've had the injuries and they've had a few problems, like a lot of teams this season. But if you want to be up there challenging the Liverpools and the Man Cities and the Arsenals and the Chelseas, they saw today what it's about. They saw today what that's all about. Which is what? They're a long way away from it at the moment. You know, and that's no disrespect. Andrew's got a lot to do. They have entertained this season at times. We've come here and they've played some outstanding football when they've got their best first 11. When they haven't got their first 11, then they're a pretty average side.
I think the problem for them, Les, is most managers find them really entertaining as well.
Yeah, I mean,
opposition.
What Arne was saying,
that's the problem.
What Arne was saying at the beginning, like, you know, they're attacking football, they're great, they're this, that, and the other, because he knew what he was coming there to do. He knew what he was coming up against, and he knew the opportunities that Liverpool would get to that.
That press conference from Slot on Friday was hilarious. I mean, people thought he was defending Postecoglou. I don't believe that for 1 minute. Like he was actually.
There is a managers' union, Jamie.
I know, but listen, I actually thought he went too far. And it was too obvious. You know, he was desperate for Tottenham to play exactly the same way as they played against Manchester United, and they did. And Liverpool could have scored 10. So what he said in that press conference, honestly, everyone I spoke to, Liverpool supporters, it was obvious.
But you all said it. You all said it before the game. He's not going to change.
No, he's absolutely not. But I think that. And he gets a lot of stick, and we're all in for him at the moment. And some of the things, his decisions he makes, I'm amazed that when he stands in his technical area, that maybe he doesn't just tweak it and say to Pedro Porro, "Look, hold on, we'll just hang on to what we got here. Let's get to half time." Or it was Jed Spencer in that first half that goes running out into areas. Let's just get to 2-1. We've won the lottery. We're in this game still. So they're the little tweaks that he has to make. But I also think the players have to take some responsibility as well. There are certain times in a game when you see things are happening that you go, OK, maybe we've got a really inexperienced back 4. Maybe as a midfield player, I won't go charging out. Maybe if someone runs into the box, I might stop him and I might track him rather than putting pressure on an 18-year-old Archie Gray. The first goal's a great example of it. You know, I think that perhaps Salah really could have done a little bit more just to help his defence. Yes, it's world-class delivery. Yes, it's a fantastic header. But these are the little details that you have to do as a midfield player. They work it really well. They get it out to, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's got that wand of a right foot. The delivery is incredible. It's absolutely unstoppable. But one thing that happens here, Basuma has got Diaz there, then Papsar comes into the picture. Now, that now becomes your man. Do not let him wander into the box, because you can see Dragosan's got a man, you can see Archie Gray's got a man. As a midfield player, that's your responsibility. Track him, follow him, and make sure that this doesn't happen. Because once Trent's on the ball, you also have to acknowledge the man that's on the ball is one of the best in the world at doing that. I blame him. I blame Salah. He's got to identify that and track him, because that delivery is unbelievable. If he goes with him, he can get a body on it, and it might make a difference.
Still a brilliant header.
Absolutely.
It's a great header. And, you know, when we're sitting here talking about making tweaks, we're not saying to Postecoglou, listen, you've got to be more defensive, you've got to be this, that. We're just saying that there's obviously obvious errors that are occurring week in, week out. And from times, it was one pass and Liverpool were in, one ball and Liverpool was in. That can't be right if you're trying to win games of football. I know you want to play on that front foot and you want to be attacking, and we're not saying don't be attacking, but it's costing you at the moment.
Was that the issue? Was it more a case of today of Liverpool's quality just being too much for Spurs?
Yeah, I think Liverpool were excellent today, and it felt like a statement performance, a performance of champions-elect, if you like. And I go back to what Liverpool did a few years ago at Leicester when they went on to win the title. And we were watching the game up here, and they were so dominant. But even at 1-0, you're thinking they need the second goal just to give them that little bit of a buffer. So this was a really important goal, because it just being complete domination from minute 1 to 36, and that was the first time they had that real bit of breathing space. But yeah, listen, it could have been anything today. And in some ways, the scoreline really flatters Tottenham. It's probably one when you get out of it, you get home, if you're a player and think that could have been an awful lot worse.
Spurs goal was a surprise, wasn't it, before half-time?
It was, and as the time it came in, like I said, Liverpool was so dominant at the time. Ball just comes in there, McAllister was a loose on his touch there, and Kulusevski closes him down. Maddison gets this, and you think, wow, against the run of play, Tottenham scored a goal here. What they need to do is, 31st minute, let's just keep it tight. Let's go in. Let's get to the bell at 2-1, and then we'll go in and we'll have a chat about it. And
what does that actually look like? Well, we've referenced it a couple of times. But what does that mean in the 5 minutes after this goal goes in?
You just got to keep it tight. You just got to say, we've got ourselves back into the game against the run of play. Let's make sure we don't give something away here.
But look at this. Look at your left back going to press. You don't do that. You stay at left back. Archie Gray gets dragged across. Dragison's in no man's land. And before you know it, it's 3v2. It's situations like that. That doesn't mean don't be attacking, as Les is saying. It means use your brain. That comes
is that though the manager saying, look, we could go 2-2 before half-time?
No, but
if he wins it there.
He shouldn't be. Because if anyone's going to score another goal and you continue playing like that, it's Liverpool. You need to make sure you get in at half-time at 2-1 and then go from there, because Tottenham had been absolutely battered. To make that decision as a left-back, and don't forget, it's not on the other side, it's on the side where the manager is as well. Now, you could say he just made a decision. He's just done it. But if your manager's been there for 18 months, those messages must be getting passed every single day. So if situations like that have happened in the past, he's maybe saying, yeah, do that. That's what I want you to do. That message is not in his head. That's not what he should do. He's never getting there. He's got to run 40 yards. He leaves a young 18-year-old kid at the back. You've got to look after a kid. He's not even a centre-back. He's 18. You do that. A minute before after him, it's absolutely unbelievable. It's what we saw the other day.
Do you know what he does here? He forces Trent Alexander to play that pass. Because if he doesn't make that run in there, Arnold turns and he's got a little bit of time. But because he does that, he's now under pressure. He's just cleared his lines here. Dragison's too far away, doesn't make it, and the ball's in the back of your net.
And the other thing is as well, you've got to remember that this back four, it played together on Thursday night. It never plays together. So you can't say that, well, they've been coached to do that, because they haven't had any time to be coached since
But that's
Thursday.
the mentality of the team, though,
yes, I know,
but the fullbacks to get as high as
this is what we're trying to say, that there comes a time in a game when you just use your football intelligence and you just say, and somebody on that pitch has to just say, OK, let's just stay calm for a bit.
They haven't got people like that on the pitch.
I know they haven't, but it's not. But that's where somebody has to do that, because that can't be worked on. Because Jed Spence predominantly plays on the right and he's playing on the left in this situation. He's just taken that decision upon himself. That's not. The manager's not told him to do that.
It's on his side.
Yeah.
Can Ange Postecoglou not in that moment shout no? Just hold your run there.
Well, no, because he's made a decision himself. That's what I'm saying. So it's not always the manager. Like when he goes across Archie Gray, and then Dragisan, who's an experienced defender, tries to win ahead, and he's got no man's there. That's not. I mean, the manager can't be saying that's his fault. It's just bad defending as well.
What's happened there is they've obviously spoken about this, and they've said whenever Trent gets on the ball, we want you to close him down. But as you said, as a player, you've got to see, I'm 40 yards away from where he is now. I'm never getting to him. I'm never going to get there to affect him enough. And he doesn't. He just carries on going, because that's what he's been told in the dressing room. Whenever Alexander gets the ball, I want you to close him down. So he goes on his way, but he's never going to get there. And Alexander just turns and plays the ball in behind.
It goes back to what we said midweek, and I continue to say every time I watch Tottenham, it's the state of the game makes no difference. It's 2-1, it's a minute to half-time. You play differently. If that was the first 10 minutes of the game and it was 0-0, you're saying, OK, maybe we're pressing Liverpool. And you've got to deal with that at the back, because we want to be on the front foot. We want to press them. It's 2-1, a minute before half-time. You have to get to half-time.
It feels in some way that goal almost sums up Tottenham right now.
Yeah.
It's organised chaos. There is no structure to that, and I just feel that when you're going to play, you've absolutely got no choice. You're giving yourself mountains to climb, because when Trent takes that ball with his left foot and plays it, he just lumps it. You cannot go from there. If he's got his back to goal and he takes it inside and boot up the pitch, and all of a sudden they're through on your goal. That cannot happen.
One final look, just for the avoidance of any doubt that you might have.
Look, he got in there.
He's forced him to do this, because if he doesn't go in the manner that he does, Trent doesn't play that ball like that, and it's in the back.
So 3-1 at half-time, and shoulders are slumped, the body language around the stadium, the atmosphere has been sucked out of it again, just as...
Hello, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is the game of the day from the Chelsea career mode that is going on currently. Good news is we are still in the first in the league table, but with some hard fixtures coming soon, today we play against Southampton. This one will be a banger, so have fun and enjoy it.
On EA TV. Hello and a warm welcome to the South Coast. We find ourselves today at St Mary's Stadium. I'm Derek Ray, positioned here on the commentary gantry, and alongside me at the microphone is Stuart Robson. And we've got Premier League action coming right up. It's Southampton taking on Chelsea.
Well, Derek, when looking forward to this game, you can't help but notice there are some great matchups all over the pitch, particularly in those central areas. Whichever team wins more of those battles will win the game.
Well, here is the lineup for the hosts today.
Well, it's a 4-3-3 with two out-and-out wingers, but they do vary their movement. They give width, but they also make diagonal runs infield when the ball's on the opposite flank. Their performances